Shavua Tov, welcome to a new week, and I miss you guys when I don't get to speak to you over the weekend, but you know what? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So welcome to a new week, welcome to a new edition of the Israel Brief. I am Rolene Marks, and the Israel Brief is brought to you in partnership with these guys, Lay of the Land, and I will tell you a little more about where you can find us coming up in the show. But first, let's take a look at those headlines as we do every Monday to Thursday. It is day 339. There are still 101 hostages being held captive by Hamas in the most horrendous conditions. We want them home now. Yesterday, or Saturday rather, was the 7th of September. We marked exactly 11 months since the horrific atrocities of the 7th of October last year, which resulted in Israel's war against Hamas, who committed these atrocities. And we are nearing that very ominous first anniversary. So let's get to our first story, and we know now a little bit more information that has been released by the IDF, speaking to Channel 12 last night about the conditions that the 6 hostages that were executed by Hamas just a matter of hours before their impending rescue. What we do know, and this is according to the forensic pathologists and the IDF investigations, is that they were held in a very narrow tunnel in which only 2 at a time could really lie down. They had no food. In fact, Eden Yerushalmi, her body weighed just 36 kilograms when she was found. They had no food. There were a few protein bar wrappers found in the tunnel. They had no water, no toilets, no shower, and had to wash themselves with the little bit of drinking water that they had. We know from materials that were found that will now be handed to their families that there were notebooks to kind of keep journals that will be given to their families. And what is very interesting is that according to the forensic pathologist, they showed signs of fighting back against the Hamas terrorists who executed them before they were murdered. It is believed that the 4 men, Ori, Almog, Alex, and Hirsch, protected the 2 women, Eden and Carmel. And just like the Maccabees before them and the heroes of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, they went to their last as heroes, as fighters, as warriors. Meanwhile, earlier today, the IDF showed the security cabinet some footage of the tunnel where they were found, and the response was that it's just very difficult to watch, that the conditions, not even animals are kept in these conditions, and the IDF will ask the families if they would like to see the footage and make it public. Meanwhile, the mother of Yagev Buchstag, a hostage whose body was recovered several weeks ago, speaking to a Knesset committee earlier today, said that the forensic pathologist had shown her the results of the autopsy, and he too was murdered by Hamas in captivity. It is believed that as IDF forces closed in on the whereabouts of these hostages, so they too were executed by Hamas terrorists. Now, just as a word for all the people out there who are leveling all these accusations at Israel, taking hostages is a war crime. Keeping people hostage, starving them, torturing them is a war crime. Executing hostages is a war crime forbidden by the Geneva Convention. Yesterday, 3 Israeli civilians were killed on the Allenby Bridge, which is the crossing between Jordan and Israel. The Allenby Bridge is often used as a conduit for people to enter Jordan for tourism, for work, and for the transportation of goods. It is believed that the perpetrator, a Jordanian national, was driving a truck, and when the truck was stopped for inspection, he drew a handgun and murdered 3 Israelis, one of whom was the father of a son who had survived the Nova terror attacks. It's just absolutely beyond horrific. President Herzog has demanded a full investigation into what happened, and the crossing, which was closed, has been reopened this morning. Meanwhile, a very, very lukewarm condemnation has been given by the Jordanian Foreign Ministry. Rocket attacks continue in the north of Israel. In fact, a short while ago, about 15 rockets were fired from the south of Lebanon into communities in the north of Israel. Earlier today, a suicide drone hit an apartment building in Nahariya. Thank goodness there were no injuries, no casualties. But overnight, over Saturday night into Sunday morning, about 150 rockets were fired into the north of Israel, specifically towards the town of Kiryat Shmona, and caused a lot of damage to homes, to property, and to cars. These rocket attacks also set off massive fires. Meanwhile, the National Unity Party leader Benny Gantz, speaking to a conference in Washington, says that the time has come to deal with the north. And the IDF yesterday said that they are prepared for escalations on all fronts, and we take that to mean the north as well. Earlier today, the IDF Home Front Command issued a directive for communities in the north to guard their gates, to reduce traffic, and to refrain from gathering. And finally, we try as much as possible to end off with some good news. And we have to say a massive kol hakavod, well done to Israel's astonishingly brilliant Paralympic team. The Paralympics concluded yesterday, and it was Israel's best Paralympics in over 20 years. We took a record 10 medals, 4 golds, 4 bronze and 2 silvers, and the real hero has to be Ami Dadon, born with cerebral palsy, a phenomenal swimmer who took 2 golds, 1 bronze and 1 silver. To say that he is an inspiration is an understatement. I think I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. Since October the 7th, whether it be civilians who were injured or soldiers who have come back, but we've seen an increase in over 2,000 people disabled in various ways. And the Paralympics are such an inspiration and such a symbol of what you still can achieve in your life regardless of the circumstances, and we salute our incredible athletes. Now for today's audience question, and just a reminder, if you have any comments or any questions, please pop them in the comments section below or be in touch with us via our website. And today's question is from Paul from Chicago, who says, are the Abraham Accords holding up? Brilliant question, Paul, and very, very, very relevant. At the outset of this war, of course, there was concern, will our peace accords with the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan, will they face up to the test of war? And it looks like they are. Yes, we have seen protests in the streets of Morocco, not so much in the United Arab Emirates, a little bit in Bahrain. But what we do know is that Hamas poses a threat not just to Israelis, but to the region. And why is that? Because all of us have a common enemy in the form of Iran. Iran is the state sponsor of terror through their proxies, the Houthis, through Hamas, through Hezbollah, and through various others. And it is in the interest of all of us to rid the region of these terror entities. And also, working with our Abrahamic partners, we can look towards helping the Palestinians build a better future for themselves. It is hoped that some of our Abrahamic partners will be involved in the rebuilding of the Gaza Strip once the war ends. And of course, we're still waiting for news on the Saudis. And we have heard murmurings that the Saudis are still keen to normalize, to make peace with Israel. Yes, there are some caveats, but that dialogue is not off the table yet. So I hope that answers your question, Paul. And just a reminder to everybody, if you like our content, please like, share and subscribe. And check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottel's site. We're on YouTube right here at the Israel Brief, on X at Lay of the Land 5, on my Instagram at Raleen_Marks. And guys, I just wish you a happy Monday. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you again for your Israel Brief tomorrow. Bye for now.